Last week, as Michelle mentioned, some of the world's greatest economic minds got together in Jackson Hole, Wyoming to discuss global monetary policy. Now, CCTV's Esther Zoll-Yoon was there in Wyoming. She's back now. She joins us live from the newsroom. What did we learn?
Well, thank you, Phil. After 3 days of very intense debates on when and how the U.S. Federal Reserve will scale back its massive stimulus program, the timing of what Fed officials call tapering remains unclear. Policymakers and economists that I talked to during the meeting told me that opinions were divided on whether the Federal Reserve should start tapering in bond purchases later this year. And some prefer sooner rather than later because they're concerned that the bond repurchases, also known as a quantitative easing, will ultimately undermine the U.S. economy. Others argue later is better, saying the Fed Reserve should wait more patiently until the U.S. economic indicators show signs of more substantial improvements. IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde has been very supportive of central banks like the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Japan, resorting to these unconventional monetary policies as a means to stimulate the economy. But she also urges that policymakers around the world to coordinate the timing, extent of those stimulus package rollbacks.
Many central banks are doing unconventional monetary policies at the moment, and there should not be a collective rush to exit. It should be timely, it should be country-specific, it should be well coordinated with other non-unconventional monetary policy countries, policymakers.
On the possible impact of tapering on China, Professor Li Daokui, the only Chinese scholar invited to the meeting, told us that he doesn't expect it to have a huge impact on Chinese economy. But he added that China should leave enough space for policy accommodations and be willing to help other emerging markets if tapering triggers a cash crunch.
I think our policies in dealing with the QE withdrawal should be proactive. We need to think clearly about how we can turn risks into opportunities and let China play a role. When some emerging markets, our surrounding countries and trade partners are facing a tight cash flow, China should do something to make a difference. This is a good opportunity for China to act as a responsible economy.
Actually, at this stage, Phil, no one is 100% sure that whether the Federal Reserve will start tapering this September or December. U.S. central bankers will base their decision on U.S. unemployment rate, which they want to see below 6.5%, and the overall condition of the U.S. economy. Back to you, Phil.
I want to ask you, you were there. The last couple of meetings at Jackson Hole has been very controversial, whether it's a bailout for Europe or a bailout for the U.S. This time around, everybody seems to at least be in a better mood. I want to ask you about the mood that was on the ground there.
It was kind of intense, very fierce debates, but still kind of happy, about what they do.
Interesting. Okay, Joe, you're welcome back to Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.